Okay, guys, today I'm going to go over what I think are the top 10 most broken cards in Edison format. I made a tier list for what I thought are the top 10 decks last week. So, again, this is just my opinion. So, if you guys think I missed one card or if you disagree, let me know in the comments. Yeah, let's start with number 10. One of my personal favorite cards of all time, Deepsea Diva. I got it at number 10. I'm using Dueling Book. Shout out to Dueling Book, just so I can scroll and show you guys the pictures and stuff. So Deepsea Diva is good in like the Diva Hero deck and zombies. They play this card, and it's really broken with Goblin Zombie. They set Goblin Zombie, and then you don't attack, and then the next turn they go summon Diva, make Brio, pitch Mizuki. It's just really good in the zombie deck, and it's also good in just the Diva Hero deck, or even in just Hero Beat players. Just throw Diva in there also, just to have a water monster, just to summon. It's a double tuner, 2 tuners. It's good with Mally, so yeah. It's one of the best tuners in Edison format, so that's why I made it the top 10. I think it's the only tuner. Yeah, it's the only tuner I put in the top 10. Alright, number 9 is Caius, the Shadow Monarch. It's just so good with people setting monsters, and setting Raikou, setting hamsters, against zombies. It's so good. Hitting Sangans, Goblin Zombies, all that stuff. And, your opponent just has to deal with the 2400 monster that takes a card right away when it's summoned. So, yeah, it's been a good card for a long time, so that's why it's all the way up here at number 9. Caius. Okay, number 8. I think most of the cards on here are monsters. Is Dark Arm Dragon. Now, I didn't want to put this any higher because, and it does have priority. That's why it made it at the top 8. But sometimes it's a little easy kind of to deal with because you'll summon, you wait for them to target, they call priority, and sometimes you can just chain the bottom, so it's a 1-for-1 at times, or Torrential, or Book of Moon, and its defense is 1,000. But it's still. If your opponent doesn't have an answer to stop it, it hits the board. It's gonna wipe out 3 cards at once. So it's a broken card, but it's at number 8. I kind of was debating between it and Caius, but I gave it the slight edge because potentially it could just wipe out opponent's field if they have no answer for it. So yeah, that's number 8. And number 7 is kind of like a 2-parter. Is Miracle Fusion, and I'm gonna put both these cards together: Miracle Fusion and Absolute Zero. Where is Absolute Zero? Yeah, so basically, most of the time, people summon Absolute Zero off Miracle Fusion. They occasionally get Gaia, but most of the time, like I said, you get Absolute Zero. And the reason this one's up there is because Absolute Zero is just so hard to deal with. It gains 500 attack for each water monster in the field. So you're playing like the Frog deck, the Frog Hero deck. It just bringing back Treemore makes it 3,000. If you have a dupe Frog, a dupe Lock, it gets, I've seen like 40, even 5,000 Absolute Zero. I think I swung at someone with 5,000. No, not 5,000. It was 4,000. I was like, or 4,000. Yeah, 4,000 0. You can get it up to 45, right? Yeah, you can get up to 45 with 4 of the monsters. Okay, so and yeah, if your opponent has a field and they have to deal with it with like Compulse, Book, Torrential, anything bottomless, it's gonna wipe out your monster. So it's just a hard card to deal with. Like I was playing the Frog Hero deck and just having to deal with an opposing Zero is tough because, like, let's say I Caius it. Okay, I'm Caiusing it, but I'm losing my Caius as well. Or Ryza, and I'm losing my Ryza. Or if I use my own Zero, I'm going to wipe out my field as well. So, yeah, it's a very broken card. That's number 10, 9, 8, 7. That's number 7. Okay, let's go number 6. Another spell, Black Whirlwind. This card is just... If your opponent goes first, opens Whirlwind, and you can't deal with it, it's hard to beat Black Wind. It's why it's one of the best decks in Edison. Just an unresolved Whirlwind. I mean, Yu-Gi-Oh's had a lot of these cards over the years. Wind Up Factory back in 2012 is the other card that I can think of. Yeah, if you just don't deal with this, they're just going to keep plussing every turn. If you have nowhere to stop their summons, they're just going to beat you. They search Kalut, search Gale, search Bora, search Blizzard. Yeah, that's why Black Winds are so good. That's why it's all the way up here at number, what, 6? Yeah, number 6. Now we get to the top 5. Yeah, top 5. Number 5 is Judgment Dragon. This card is just... When it hits the field and you have no answer to it, it's game. They just play 1,000, blow up your field, hit you for 3K, and usually they have other cards to go with it, like Lumina, or sometimes Double JD, Chaos Sorcerer, Christia and the Christia Sworn deck. Yeah, anytime JD hits the board, even if you have something to stop it, they're going to wipe out your whole field. I hate it, especially when they Cold Wave you and then summon Judgment Dragon. Yeah, it's a really good card. It's an iconic card. So and it's just a beautiful looking dragon. But yeah, it's all the way up there at top 5. That's why the Christia Sworn deck is so good, because if they don't beat you with Christia, they can beat you with Judgment Dragon. All right, that's number 5. And speaking of Christia Sworn, number 4. Now this was tough. I debated between Judgment Dragon and Christia, and I had to give Christia the slight edge just because it's like it's with Bottomless and like Torrential, it just goes back on top, right? I think even with Bottomless it goes back on top. I don't know. I don't remember the ruling, but or Mirror Force, like you have to deprison it or something. It's just, or if you beat it by battle, if you like book it or something, then it just goes back on top and you have to deal with it again. And plus, it gets the +1 where they can get back honest. So then, how do you deal with it? Or Orange Light if you have like a Riker or something to stop it. Yeah, it's just an annoying card, especially if your deck special summons a lot. They summon this thing, or even people playing Valhalla Christia decks. It's a good card. I mean, it got limited to 2. So did Judgment Dragon, but yeah, this card I was shocked it was at 3, and then people told me, because for the longest time it was at 2 back in like 2011. So I was surprised that it was at 3 during Edison, but it makes sense. Yeah, good card. Anytime someone summons it on me, I always like panic. I'm just like, oh man. Not that I don't panic with Judgment Dragon, but Christia definitely is like, because I can't, at least I can fight. If I survive the JD hit, I can fight back. But with Christia, I can't fight back because I can't special summon. So that's why I gave it the slight edge over Judgment Dragon. All right, number 3 is Substitute. I mean, this card was banned for a long time. I know it was banned because of the FTK, but it's just, oh man. Them being able to just dump all their frogs with like, just going, let's say they just get Treeborn and some Substitute. Okay, I'm going to dump all my frogs. I have a graveyard full of like 2 Treeborns and a bunch of water monsters for Miracle Fusion or all this stuff. It's just, you see all these like frog burn decks. All these frog decks are really overpowered because of Substitute. Imagine if we had a Ronin Totem, because Ronin Totem came out like the next set or like a few months after Edison. I don't remember when, but yeah, that deck. Substitute, you know, there's a reason it was banned. It was about banned for years in Yu-Gi-Oh! So I had to give it the number 3 spot. It's just being able to tribute as many times as you want. Plus the frogs can't be destroyed by battle. Just give it that bonus effect. Not that it needs it. It's why I give it the slight edge. Because if your opponent goes first turn Substitute, even just going Substitute, getting Swap Frog is really good as well. So that's why it's all the way up there at number 3. Number 2 is, I gave it to Future Fusion. This card is just, if your opponent goes first and opens up Future Fusion and playing the Dragon deck, or if they're playing just a Hero deck, it's such a broken play, especially in the Dragon deck. They dump like 2 Red Eyes, the Red Eyes Wyvern card, and then the next turn they just bring out 2 Red Eyes for free. It's just so good. And even in the Hero deck, if they're playing the Mally version, just dump Mally, dump Treeborn, dump any water monster. So they're gonna get a free Absolute Zero, and then just free stuff. So it's just a really good card. Especially, another thing is you have to deal with a 5-head. That 5-head has been summoned on me. One of my friends, Bronda, attacked me with a 5-head. I lost. I think the video's on my channel. I let the 5-head come out. I couldn't deal with the Future Fusion. So yeah, it's like, oh, now you have to deal with your 2800 Red Eyes that are coming out, and I have to deal with your 5-head. So yeah, it's one of the best spells. That's why it's already number 2. And then number 1, I went with Royal Oppression. This card is, I think it's still, yeah, this card is still banned in Yu-Gi-Oh! I think. I haven't played Yu-Gi-Oh! In modern Yu-Gi-Oh! In years, but I'm pretty sure it's still banned. You know, pay 800 life points to get special summon a monster. It's just so good, and it just destroys so many decks. Like, I think, I mean, look at all these cards. It's Royal Oppression stops Diva, stops Judgment Dragon, stops Substitute, stops Christia, stops Dark Arm. Doesn't stop Caius, but stops Future Fusion, stops Miracle. The only 2 cards in the top 10 that it doesn't stop is Black Whirlwind and Caius, but it can stop the Whirlwind, you know, stop Bora, the special Bora, or stop Blizzard and stuff. So yeah, Royal Oppression is just too good. And in certain decks, they just flip this on you. You can't do anything. You're playing plants, you try to do anything, Oppression. It's so good. So good. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this quick list. Again, this is just my opinion. Let me know in the comments below what you think. Is there something I might have missed? I'm probably sure I missed something. I thought about Trap Dust Shoot and like Herald of Orange Eye. Those are 2 that came to my mind. But some people don't even play Trap Dust Shoot, so that's why I didn't want to put it in the top 10. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time. Bye.